There are 5 lessons that completely change your life in your 20s. The problem, nobody actually teaches them to you. You don't read them in a book, you don't hear them in a lecture, you learn them the hard way, usually right after it's too late to use them. So today, I'm going to show you all 5 and exactly the moment each one finally hits. Stick around for number 5 because it's the one people only understand at a funeral, and by then, it's too late to do anything about it. Quick thing before we start. If you're somewhere between 18 and 30 and you feel like everyone got a manual you never received, this video is the manual. Hit subscribe so it's not the last one you get. Let's go. Lesson 1, and everybody gets this one wrong. You've been told save money 1,000 times and you've ignored it 1,000 times because save money is the most boring advice on earth. So let me reframe it. Money doesn't buy stuff, money buys freedom. Picture 2 co-workers, same job, same toxic boss who screams in meetings. Coworker A has 6 months of expenses saved. One bad Monday, they walk in, quit on the spot, and walk out lighter than they've felt in years. Coworker B, same job, same boss, stays for 2 years. Not because they want to, because they're one paycheck away from disaster. They literally cannot afford to leave. That's the lesson. Your savings account isn't about stuff you'll buy later. It's the price of being able to say no to a job, a relationship, a city that's killing you slowly. Nobody learns this from a budgeting app. They learn it watching someone trapped and realizing they don't want to be that person. Lesson 2. You become the average of the people you spend the most time with, and you won't even notice it happening. Here's how you actually learn this one. Not from a quote on Instagram, but from the drift. You've got a friend group that complains about everything and does nothing about any of it. Fun at first, but fast forward a year, and you've quietly stopped trying things too. You didn't decide to, you just absorbed it. Now flip it. You fall in with people who read, who build side projects, who show up to the gym at 6 a.m., and without ever making a decision, you're doing it too. That's the scary part and the beautiful part. You don't rise to your goals, you sink or rise to your environment. So look around the room you're standing in most often, because in 2 years, you're going to be that room. Lesson 3, the all-nighter feels productive. The grind for a month then quit feels heroic, but it teaches you the wrong thing. Watch 2 people. One is gifted, trains like a maniac for a month, then disappears. The other is completely average, but goes 3 times a week for 2 years and never makes it dramatic. 2 years later, it's not close. The average one wins, easily. You learn this watching the quiet writer who posted one small thing every single week beat the genius who's been working on their masterpiece for 3 years and has nothing to show. Intensity is loud, consistency is quiet, and quiet wins. Lesson 4. And this one's counterintuitive, so stay with me. Being right is overrated. How you handle being wrong, that's what people actually remember. You learn this watching someone you respect screw up, and just own it. I made the wrong call. Here's how we fix it. And somehow, they walk away with more trust, not less. Now watch the opposite. Someone gets caught being wrong, and they dig in. Deflect, blame, they win the argument, and lose every ounce of respect in the room. Here's the lesson nobody says out loud. Defensiveness costs more than the mistake ever did. The error is forgivable. The cover-up isn't. And that brings us to number 5, the one I promised you at the start, the one people only understand at a funeral. Think about the last time you were at one, or a farewell, or a reunion years later. Nobody, and I mean nobody, stood up and talked about the person's job title, their salary, the car they drove, the followers they had. What people remembered was how that person made them feel, who was kind, who showed up when it was hard, who made them laugh when they needed it most, and that's the gut punch. Because most of us spend our 20s optimizing for a scoreboard, money, status, the right title, that nobody actually keeps. People remember how you made them feel, not what you achieved. And by the time you're standing in that room learning this lesson, it's too late to go back and live differently. So here's the thread tying all 5 together. The lessons that actually change you aren't the ones you're taught. They're the ones you witness. usually in someone just a few steps ahead of you, living out the consequence of a choice that you're making right now without even thinking about it.
So let's break up the 5 points which we have discussed just now. 1. Money buys freedom. 2. You become your environment. 3. Consistency beats intensity. 4. Own being wrong. And 5 is people remember how you made them feel. If even one of these hit you, do me a favor. Drop a comment with the number that hit hardest. Do not forget to like, share and subscribe. See you in the next video.